Hey, happy Tuesday. I'm here with a little life update. I have taken the last month or two off of social media to process all of the big life changes and transitions I've been going through. And I wanted to share that with my community, and also sitting down to film this is an inspired action to bring my dreams into reality. So, what has been going on? Literally, like, so much. You know the expression, when it rains, it pours. That's been my whole life, like the past 2 years of just change and change and change. But I feel like now I have finally reached a point of more permanence in that change, if that makes sense. Yeah, so I won't bury the lead anymore, but I left my job in September very unexpectedly. I knew my time at the club had been coming to an end for a very long time. Honestly, ever since I moved to Atlanta, I've been working towards leaving, and obviously there's a lot of fear around that because it's not just I'm leaving this job and I'm gonna go get another. It's I am leaving the lifestyle, I am leaving the how do I say this, monetary aspect of the club. I'm leaving that community. I'm changing this part of my identity, and I'm breaking into a new industry by deciding to leave the club. So there's a lot of different layers to that change, and I feel like I've slowly been processing it over the last 2 years, and everything happens in divine timing, and I just wasn't prepared before now. And even up until the day that I decided not to go back, I had doubt in that change, but I have spent the last 2 years strengthening my skills, strengthening my faith, strengthening my ability to know that I can move through any challenge in grace and persist when any hardships arise. And this opportunity of change, this opportunity of growth is available to me to go deeper, like in my faith, to go deeper in my self-assurance and my confidence, to feel rooted in my desire and authenticity. And it feels good to walk in my truth. It feels good to walk in confident faith. So that's been a lot of the emotional and spiritual aspects of that life transition, which requires me to detach, to disconnect, to really put separation in between me and everything that is tying me to something that I've outgrown. I've needed my privacy the past couple months because my spirit has been feeling really sensitive. It's been feeling very vulnerable. And so in order to make this transition permanent, and for me this transition not only represents like a new level in life, but it represents this deep change in myself of I have always struggled to love and protect myself and respect myself, especially when it comes to other people and relationships and boundaries. And now, as I step into this new level of life, it's solidifying that skill that I've worked really hard to build, of nothing is going to stand between me and my highest good. Nothing is going to stand between me and protecting myself, protecting my body, protecting my mind, protecting my energy. It feels very freeing to give myself permission to be selfish, to do what I need to do, to let go of any people-pleasing cycles that I have moved in previously. And it's also allowing myself to be seen in the way that I want to be seen. I feel like for me, Instagram has documented a lot of my ego story, which is what I consider my time in the club to be. My time in the club was me moving out of ego, and for the beginning of it, that's how I really got connected to my divine self and my divine power, and walking in my faith and walking in my purpose. And throughout that journey, it's led me to be here, where I understand that, okay, that was my ego. I was moving, especially the more I was in it, I was moving out of fear because I didn't believe that monetary abundance would come to me outside of this, or I didn't fully believe or understand or process the effect that this would have on me. I didn't understand what the game of the club was and all of the traps within it. Yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought. But, oh yeah, okay, so I was moving out of ego. And especially as I moved to Atlanta and I'm embracing this new life and this new version of myself that it helps to create, I was really scared about what life would look like when I left the club, because my path looks very different than most people's, and especially most people in my little bubble of Atlanta right now. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I know the job market's tough. Why is a company going to choose me, who did not finish a college degree, has not held a W-2 job in like 4 years. And I was just feeling a lot of like imposter syndrome and lack of confidence in my ability to demonstrate my worth to companies. And as I got kind of like in that cycle, there's good and bad. It reminded me that, one, I don't want to go to college. I don't desire to have a college degree, because the wealth of knowledge attainable at my fingertips is incredibly satiating to my relentless curiosity, more than paying thousands of dollars to go through a structured system to learn about shit I don't give a shit to learn about. Like, my time and energy and attention is so much more valuable. I don't desire to learn about algebraic expressions just so I can finish my degree, respectfully. When there's a time in my life that I need to learn that, it'll come to fruition, and I'll be able to move through it, because I like algebra. But do I think that I need to spend a whole semester of my life and thousands of dollars paying for this class just to check it off a list to get a piece of paper that therefore says I'm qualified to do XYZ? Yeah, that's my little spiel. I know college can like bring a lot of different things, but I understand that it's just not right for me, which is why I dropped out in the first place. yeah, so the industry shift has brought a lot of imposter syndrome up for me to deal with, but I feel very grateful to have had a super wonderful friend group that are kind and generous, and they have helped me understand the world of corporate and like how to break into it more. So it's been an opportunity to gain confidence, to learn new skills, to do more things, but also on the flip side, to come back to myself, to remind myself that, yeah, I don't want to work 40 hours a week for a company just to make them more money and to have prestige and a title. I don't desire to have a linear career that's easily explained on a piece of paper. Like, I am so much more than that. My experience in life is so much more than that. My experience in life is multidimensional. It has depth, there's joy, there's heartache, there's peacefulness, there's tragedy, like all of the above. And I am grateful to experience it exactly the way that I'm experiencing it, and me sitting down to share my thoughts and to take capture of what my bedroom looks like on this beautiful Tuesday is an act of faith. It's an act of faith, and it accurately captures the multidimensionalism in which I exist. And not just me, like, we are all multidimensional beings that exist. I feel like as I've been going through this period of change, I've been disconnecting from social media, I'm reminding, like, my spirit is reminding myself how we're literally all just animals. I'm literally like the same as a dog or like a bear. You know, like, we're literally just animals. We have the same needs as animals. We operate in an ecosystem that all needs each other. And that everything in the material world is driven out of ego. And ego's not a bad thing. Ego is your protector in a way, but sometimes it needs a limit. And I feel like, especially as I've been going through this period of change, I've been connecting more to my emotions, and what helps me process them and visualize them and understand them is thinking of all the energy that's floating around inside me, being those little characters from inside out. And anxiety is ego. Ego is made up of several different things, but anxiety can definitely be ego. And it takes intentional training to remind ego that it doesn't have to move out of lack and fear and doubt. When you are able to quiet the voice of the ego and give more of an equitable platform to your highest self and your ego, that's when I feel like I've been reaching peace and able to like validate my emotions and understand them and see them as like, what are they trying to teach me, and how do I need to reparent myself right now? Yeah, so lots of change, lots of thoughts. I'm really happy to be here. I am drinking this like morning drink that I've been making every morning because I ran out of tea, and this has been really good. It's honey, lemon juice, cayenne pepper, and cinnamon with apple cider vinegar and boiling water. It is really good for the digestive system, and it tastes really good. It tastes like fall in a cup, so highly recommend. But now I'm gonna go to my Pilates class. I'm gonna put a pin in this conversation and circle back around after I take some time to honor my body. Okay, rich grand risings and a bientôt.